I don't know if you feel like you've been getting beaten up, but when you think of trying to expand your business or trying to get more exposure online, there's a lot of questions. And of course, the same three-letter word, that awful three-letter word keeps popping up in these clickbait videos that people are producing. Now, I'm going to give you the truth about all of these things, so bear with me. But first thing, those three letters, SEO, search engine optimization. And of course, at one time it was such a big deal, and it still has its place, because if you have your website, your blogs, the posts that you put up on Facebook and Instagram and X and all these other platforms, LinkedIn as well, if they're properly hashtagged, properly titled, and properly put together, then you're going to get better exposure. But of course, it doesn't have to be so much clickbait stuff, but it has to be somewhat captivating. And besides SEO, three other things are very prevalent in the search space, so you can start wrapping your mind around it. The first thing is AEO, artificial engine optimization. So you write, so the artificial engines, the artificial intelligence can actually conform and find your text. Answer engine optimization. I got that confused. So AIEO is artificial intelligence engine optimization. A couple different things. So the AI systems are going to pull from data that's going to be more conducive to conversational and FAQs. So those are a couple other things. When you're writing content, you want to make sure that you do it, maybe have at least one section of the content that's conversational. Maybe a Q&A type approach. Maybe you or somebody else going back and forth and answering questions that people have. Why is this important? Why is it important to differentiate the terms when it comes to search engine optimization, answer engine optimization, artificial intelligence engine optimization? I'm going to throw one more at you, GEO. So that one is typically geographical or geolocational engine optimization, GEO. So that's going to be location. So if you're in a particular area, let's say you're a real estate agent. Real estate agents are typically geographically bounded. They are in a particular locale. Now, some agents try to expand on that. What they don't actually know is if you try to get too broad in your branding, then you start competing with the syndication sites like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, Compass, a much bigger brand. Remax was just picked up by Real, I believe it was, so a tech-forward real estate brokerage bought Remax's debt, bought Remax. So now they have all of Remax's data. And to try to compete with them at a larger scale level, good luck. Very, very difficult. However, real estate agents with that GEO strategy, they can be local, they can be dominant. They just have to put together the right things. And the right things are these. Whenever you put out content, you want to think about how the artificial intelligence systems are generating their results. You go on to them, and remember back in the day when, if you broke ground like I did with the dial-up modem at 56.6K baud, and you had AOL, that dial-up, you remember the if you were around at that time. The internet results came through very slow, and there were a lot of different search engines out there. Well, Google won the game. And as it is now, I think Anthropic might win the other game as far as artificial intelligence, but Google still has a massive data set, massive placeholder, and they do give results. Now, Google itself has changed its whole infrastructure as far as search goes, so the forward-facing user interface is much different now. In fact, they're trying to combine it, I think, with their AI systems. So when you do a search on Google, it's got AI enhancement. It's Gemini enhanced. Gemini is Google's artificial intelligence platform. So when you're doing a search, how do you get in there? How do you do that as some kind of a business owner? First and foremost, if you have a business that's able to get a placement on Google My Business, then do that. Make sure you get in there. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Make sure you get in there and get your business in there. Now, if you happen to be a real estate agent, you could still do that same thing. You just might have to go through a couple other steps of verification. That's how Google, Gemini, their large language model, is going to score your business. When you get in there and you do get your places ad, Google Local Business, you're going to want to start attending to it. Don't just set it and forget it like a rotisserie oven back in the day. You actually want to start posting content about your business. And it gives you the opportunity to maybe put in a call now, maybe put in a website, maybe put in a link to learn more information. That's important. You want to learn those different strategies. So go in, play with it, and then ask your favorite large language model how to make best use of it. What should you be doing? How should you be posting? How often should you be posting? What times of day should you be posting up content on Google My Business? Ask it, it'll tell you. And then on the other end of it, if you're looking for the ChatGPT scoring, then that's going to be, at least for now, and we'll have to see how the future plays out, but kind of tied in with Bing My Business. Yeah, they have their own thing too. And usually, if you would have asked me 6 months ago if you should tie the two together, because you'll get the option after you get a Google local My Business page and you go over to Bing and you get a Bing My Business page, and they're both free. What ends up happening is Bing is going to say, would you like to connect this to Google? And a few months ago, I would have said, probably not. You want to keep them sold and separate. Now, what the hell? Tie them up together because your Google updates are going to feed into Bing. And that's probably not a bad idea. So now when people are searching on ChatGPT by OpenAI, then they're probably going to start pulling in your results. Now, you want to keep it updated. Ask your favorite large language model for frequency, because it's going to depend. If Google happens to be the one you pay for, use most prominently, which is Gemini, good for you. It's going to tie in with probably maybe giving you a better answer than if you're using ChatGPT. But I would try both. The free service should give you at least enough to answer a few questions. So you can ask it which one would be best and the frequency, what to post, and that type of information. Now, so once you have that, great. There's other forms of content. So besides updating that, if you're posting to social media, maybe doing videos, great. Another good question would be what that frequency should look like, and then what content should you be posting? A video like this, for example, it just popped into my mind because I see all of these ads for these people promising that they're going to give you the world. It's only going to cost you $495 a month, and you only have to put $2,500 down, and within a few days, they're going to get you scoring on the first page of Google. Yeah, first page of Google. They're talking about the places ads. There's usually 3 prominent ads for local businesses. Depends on what your business is. And it also depends very much on what people are typing in. They're not going to get you there for what they're charging in 3 days with the most prominent search string. The 4 phrase. But for example, I'm in Santa Clarita. I'm a real estate agent out here. Sellers Only Agents, my brand. But Santa Clarita real estate is the keyword phrase that scores highest. That's the most expensive. That's if you're going to do a Google pay-per-click campaign. It's going to cost you a lot of dough. Just score for those. Insurance agents in Santa Clarita, big money. Lawyers, law firms, Santa Clarita, personal injury. Oh my God. You can spend a hell of a lot of money in that venue. But to be there for a real estate agent, 4 terms, Santa Clarita real estate, for example. So if they promise you and get it in writing, if they say they're going to be able to score you those 3 results for Santa Clarita real estate, I would go all in at $495 a month. It's not going to happen. Now, maybe they'll score you for top ranking for Santa Clarita real estate, naked mole rats on a mountain wearing flowing white robes. Yeah, they might be able to get you on that one because that long tail keyword search, it's non-existent. People don't search for those terms all in a row just like that. So that's where they get you. They promise you the sun. They actually perform on what they've promised. You've already paid them, but nobody's searching for the terms they're scoring you for. That's what you need to know. These other things, artificial engine, answer engine optimization, and the GEO, the geolocational, the geographical engine optimization, those are going to be tied to your local business ad. And those are also going to be tied to hashtags that you're putting into your particular advertising. Hashtags have a specific function. X, Elon, that whole platform, the previously known as Twitter, you can put them in there, but I don't think they're played up as much as they used to be. LinkedIn still enjoys the hashtag. TikTok limited, I believe, to 5. Facebook hashtags, not a bad idea. When you're putting together YouTube video content, yeah, pretty good. You want to expand also when you're writing articles, you're writing updates for Facebook. You always want to have somewhere where they can go and get connected with you. It's not enough just putting in some information about where your website might be. You want to include something that's able to be hyperlinked or something that's easy to remember. Some of the platforms don't allow any kind of linking in the description, but you can still have the URL in there. It's just not going to be clickable. YouTube allows it. If you have an established profile on YouTube and you do video content, it allows it. Some of the other systems will allow you to link in there. If you have a podcasting syndicator like Buzzsprout, not a bad investment. It's cheap and you can get a lot of worth from posting that particular content on Buzzsprout. It syndicates to a lot of fancy places, and you'll be able to see your brand start to show up page one when people are searching for it. Again, free advice. If you want to do something else, if you want to get a free AI audit, that's what I do. Go to honorelevate.com, hook up with me on my calendar. I'll walk you through whatever it is. We'll first look and see where you're positioned now and find out what your problems are, because maybe you don't have any problems. Maybe your business is good as is. But maybe if you have a problem, we can solve it with something that I can put together, some automated process or implementing artificial intelligence into your business. I hope this other information's helped clear up some of the nonsense out there. I was a cop a long time, and I just irritates me to high heaven to see people taken advantage of, no matter what your business happens to be. And if you like to play fair, like I like to play fair, we might be a good match. When you're ready, reach out. HonorElevate.com. I'm Connor with Honor. Thanks for watching. Please tell a friend. We'll see you in the next one. Be well.